a scrim-based conversation or a leader-based conversation is where they may feel more comfortable leaving the Groot open because they may have the Punisher on the field. So that kind of discussions, all that happening
alongside a Cloak and Dagger for that damage amplification with the Terror Cape, and on the opposite side, Ailaniwind having that Groot portal place. Meanwhile, from Hydron, interesting early.
Yeah, the initial take, trying to find somebody sleeping in the back. Unfortunately, unable to do so, but there is going to be that combination decision. But it looks like NTMR is slowly taking back this point. Nice shot there by Aurora, finding one on Chenzo. Down goes Chenzo early, and well done for the early fight here, putting it in their advantage as NTMR collapses in.
Yeah, NTMR with the triple res composition looks like been practicing it up pretty heavily as well. I mean, just so much pressure into these tanks now. Great Cloak and Dagger ult, though. No, and they've lost basically everybody. I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, unfortunately, utilizing that ultimate and still losing that fight early is going to bite them, and that's a nice retake here by Micah. Going to use it right back to press forward. Great res there by Seaforth. Numbers are heavily up for NTMR.
Aurora finding those opening picks, giving themselves a good spot on this defense.
Galactic Legends popped right now from C4, trying to find some value. No, the dance floor does get popped down, and we do see Venomable rolled out again. We see the Strangling Prison. Does it find any value? No, it does not. Just back and forth trading. Eye of Agamotto pops. Will they be able to collapse on it? Storm going to turn that Hurricane around. Go for the backline. Mantis out of two as Goma finds early double pick. Sleep Egg going to res up. So is Juker, though, and those picks suddenly no longer have a ton of effect as we will even out on this fight.
Yeah, but they sort of have a pretty good neutral comp with that ultimate from Chenzo, and he's able to find elimination. The Meteor unfortunately misses. Here comes that res, but I mean, it's right in the open. They're going to have to kind of give up the point to get healthy.
That's an insane Adam res if I've ever seen one. 4 back as they still hold on to this point. 65% NTMR playing like champions right now. Really well played. Ailaniwind using that ult early. We do see the Eternal Bond. Will it buy them time? Ice going to find Micah, and this could turn it back in their favor. They need to get some charge here now as it's left roughly 74%. Will not have those reses up for the moment. C4 is going to pop that out early. Do we find any value? Ice going to take out Juker again. Not sure the res is up, but C4 falls Goma. Great shots there. Make that 2, 3 as Goma is absolutely waxing the back line. Ice finds Sleep A, and that's going to go back towards Ailaniwind.
Mini ultimate, so great work from Ailaniwind there, but they're going to be against NTMR on this retake.
Yeah, that Dagger Storm you mentioned, 55 HP per second, essentially is very valuable. Something like an Eternal Bond. Oh, and we are going to see the Storm ult out early, trying to find somebody. No, but Bond is up for Adam, like I just mentioned. Goma going to take out Sleep A. Goma gets 2 more, and Goma's popping off in these team fights. That's another wipe as Prince takes out Aurora, and they are not able to get out there and spin on the back line. We do know how strong you can build ultimate when you use that Blaster Barrage. We do see the ult out now for Punisher. Aurora is going to take out Jules, though. Great early start to this fight as they lose the Luna, but down goes Chenzo, making that 2 more. Sleep Egg gonna res up Prince and Jalen, and once again Ailaniwind found their footing, and we are gonna get them slightly ahead. A teleport play may need to come in here for NTMR.
Yeah, they res under to take the portal to come back, get healthy, in back to this fight, but now they're in the middle of the point, have that Cloak and Dagger ultimate. They need to win here and now, and they're finding the picks.
Yeah, that was a great decision. Res under, reset as a team, and then use that Cloak ult to keep the team on with Eternal Bond, and they completely shifted the tides as they are now holding on to point, and we are going to be even in ultimates. Actually play, and what an incredible res again by Juker.
Yeah, I mean, now Chenzo coming in to touch the point. He just goes down for it, because that's what happens when you have to touch as a Punisher. But wait, do they even have the portal? So this is, I think, not even a retouch. It's just next round. NTMR winning the first one.
Yeah, they're going to hold on to those ultimates there. I think that was a smart decision.
Meteor M, they have that Groot ultimate ready to go to counter C4 coming in.
Yeah, I like the decision to reset there. We are going to have this portal play early again, trying to find one sleeping in the back. Will they be able to do this? Sometimes you can actually kidnap them. You put the portal right in front of one of the strategist lines. Unfortunately, not able to do that there as they are going to be chasing. And here comes the spin again. Bubble out. A ton of all charges. It's already ready here. Galactic Legend popped. Looking for the back line. And we are going to see a ton of Qs being popped as the Hurricane comes out as well. C4 looking for somebody, but no, the dance floor is out. Once again, the fate of both worlds to buy some time. Kate Jules with a roughly 75% accuracy there on the Luna is absolutely obscene. Really well played by Ailani to get to that point and not have anyone fall from that early portal play.
And Ailaniwind, I'm going to go for more because they want to cap the point. NTMR waiting for the re-engage. Now they come through with that Eye of Agamotto, and it hits everybody. Hydron, are you kidding?
An absolutely beautiful Eye of Agamotto there by Hydron, an incredible player.
Can he find eliminations and avoid Aurora in that Meteor M once he gets that bubble?
Ooh, and here we go. Final jump gets shut down. Aurora says, not in my house. turns that right back and return to sender as they lose two. Ailaniwind down again, and Nightmare doing a good job in these fights, playing very patiently. But hey, it's going back in as Jalen Man is going to be using the Strangling. Prison finds two of the backline. Great picks there. The rest could be up though. Jalen just trying to hold on here, make that three. Really well done and taking this point almost on their own, but about 100 HP, make that 50. Still managing to stay on this point, but at this point, it could just be a stagger for time. Not sure how long it's going to go on here, as we do see Seaforth using that Galactic Legend. Goma goes down. Prince going to find Juker. Ice on Hydron. Super back and forth here, but Ailaniwind finally takes this point.
That dance floor versus that Storm Ultimate, so Ailaniwind have the advantage right now.
And here comes the ultimate right now by Goma, heading directly towards the backline. Likely we'll see a bond, yes, and the bubble. Like ooh, great early pick there as Juker goes down. Ice finds one, just collapsing off of Goma. Goma gonna make that two as Seaforth goes down. Will they find more? Three, cleaning up the rest of the team and trying to get this charge back to even, as it is 62 for Nightmare and 57 for Ailaniwind.
They're going to retouch with some of their ultimates. It's going to be still a very hard fight to win, because we've seen Chenzo with that Punisher ultimate. It's so much value that he gets every single time.
Yeah, you see Hydron using that portal early because it does come back in 3 minutes. You can get multiple out in a round. Don't let that sleep. Okay, Jules finds Juker early, and that is a great pick. As we do see the dance floor popped out. Eye of Agamotto trying to slow down the pace. Again, Hydron finds two. An absolute savage with these eyes, but it may not be enough as they are just duking it out back and forth. Who's going to take this point as Hydron falls? And it is going to be roughly even, but not for long, as we are going to see potentially another Q. Yes, Sleep going to launch the Mantis, but no, doesn't find any value with the collapse. Aurora taking this space, keeping them up off the wall, and it is just a stalemate at this point.
And he's got the Terror Cape on him at C4. You can blast through it, and oh no, Prince is not there in time with the Eternal Bond. In fact, some members of the team are just not playing around it that well at all, but they're able to find Hydron. Also, Micah, finally, Ailaniwind gets some amount of eliminations here.
Yeah, that was a great call. I mean, the blaster barrage there by Starlord actually cannot be eaten by the Meteor M, so able to take out Ice during the ult there. That was a very smart decision as Ailaniwind takes map 2, and we're pushing it to map 3. Already, we're having a good game, and I love it.
To win on Cradle. Gotta use the words, obviously. They went under the point, like you said, with that Resurrection. That was the big thing, able to get value of Adam Warlock Ultimate. Second map, man, they didn't really get that, right?
Circle around you, where if any of your allies go down or get KO'd, they'll go back and actually be res where you place the res. So you can use it prior to fights sometimes, and it actually works out pretty well. Goma gonna go in there as we see Bond being popped, and nobody gonna take any significant damage. Up in the sky again, that bubble keeping everyone up. Good idea. Will it find value? One goes down as K. Jules, and Jukers finds Goma. Sleep A takes out 2, and Hydron onto Prince, and that's a full team wipe off the rip here for Nightmare. We are going to start leveling it out here, but we do have Juker, Hydron, Aurora, and Micah ready to launch. And here we go up with the Meteor M right now. Looking, but the bubble going to protect. Really well done there, as we are seeing this final judgment through. A Hydron finds 2 as K. Jules and Goma goes down. Still trying to get a few more picks to level out the playing field, but no. Aurora takes out Chenzo, and this is still going to be held on here by Nightmare.
Yeah, this is so fun, seeing this change from Hydron, maybe switching to something more just strong right now. I mean, by the way, Stagger coming through from Ice has to jump off the map, and there he goes to Aurora. But
yeah, off the rip, we do have the Hurricane coming in heavy, and will it find value? Mega Hurricane on everyone, countered back. We do see an ult here by K. Jules. Ice going up with a Meteor. Jalen finds 2. Ice finds Sleep Bay, but the reses will be coming through, and that's what I'm talking about. Setting yourself up as a beacon, now walking in to see how many people can be res. Juker gets 4, but Goma, and Jalen back and forth. Another set of reses as K. Jules takes out Hydron and Sleep Bay. K. Jules playing a mean Luna, and goes to show you how strong.
But he's gonna have to go against Chenzo, who will be CC immune when he pops his ultimate.
And here we go. Early on, the bonds matched on both sides. Will there be a dunk? No. An immediate Eye of Agamotto to slow down the pace, but you cannot be CC'd when you're in final judgment. Goma gonna find Hydron. Ice takes out C4. Once again, Ailaniwind with great patience, finding a ton of value here through these ultimates. The neutrals will be even on this next battle. No major ult advantage besides Ice holding on here, and Sleep A on the side of Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, that was well played by Ailaniwind. Pretty much perfect. Aurora just missing the Meteor M as well. Forgot to mention that how important Meteor M is. Hit, but who's this? Hydron, he's ready to go. Maybe they can sneak up on a strategist.
Yeah, and here comes the backline play. They do find one early. That is a massive play, as you just called out. Down goes K. Jules, out goes the Mega Hurricane. Will this get value as Goma trying to turn this back? Goma takes out Juker, but Hydron getting 2 more. Hydron finding so much value here on Strange. Like you mentioned, this recent buff, just allowing his E to hit extended ranges at full damage, has been super helpful for not only his ult, but super helpful for just the neutral fights, dealing a ton of damage to everyone in the large AoE.
I mean, maybe some portal plays can come through from Ailaniwind. They are stalling for time. Overtime ticks down. You have to stay on this objective as well as Venom just comes in to stall.
We do see a Jeff take here just to try to get back from Sleepy quickly. C4th in the sky gets picked out. Chenzo finds one there, but Juker gonna res everyone back. This is gonna be a very difficult fight. Back and forth again. Anyone's game here. Oh, the pressure, and there's that E-pop we see. Immediately again by Hydron, who's finding more and more value again from Hydron with the Eye of Agamotto, potentially getting some value. No. Storm with a great line of sight play, just dancing around that tree, not finding the eyes pop on anyone. Instead, just gonna hold on to this point here as then you see another Eternal Bond out for the side of Ailaniwind.
I mean, Jalen stalled for so long. Juker, meanwhile, finds K-Jules again. That's going to feel so bad considering they got picked earlier. Here comes Goma. Can they trade it? They have the overhealth. They have the damage. But will anybody fall?
Man, it's just so back and forth here in this fight. The res making things so difficult. A Hydron on Chenzo, again on Goma. Just sweeping up in these last few fights. And Jeff trying to find some value. Gets a tackle, but no, goes down early as Ice takes out Sleepy. And Ailaniwind might be able to turn this around again, but it's very difficult as Ice is one of the last few on point. We do see some healing coming through. Great positioning there by the back line as they cannot close it down. Jalen finds Aurora. What a play.
Wait, isn't this his second ultimate? He's about to have a second one to stall. How the hell is he doing this? Chenzo is one, the Hydron finds one, C4th in the sky. Can you find anything? The damage output isn't there. Somehow, Ailaniwind are still in this.
Yeah, this has been a stall at 99 for minutes and minutes on end at this point. Oh my God! Damage boost! The E goes out early!
With the perfectly placed Meteor M.
Yeah, it all comes down to that shield. Will it be enough to buy them enough time? Eye of Agamotto going to be popped here from Hydron. Ooh, incredible freeze. Not today, says K-Jewel. Chenzo takes out Hydron immediately after, and that could have been game-winning, that freeze. Aurora finds two to turn it back, though. And at this point, it's anyone's game. Juker going to res up Hydron, and they're right back in the fight again.
Jalen so low. Overtime takes down again. It's reset back to max, and there's nobody here. K-Jules and Prince, the last two alive. No portal as well. Nightmare are going to win an absolutely hard-fought map 1.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a closer game. It got down to 9.
Am I crazy? Or was that two ultimates? Was that two Feast of the Abyss from Jalen? I think I might be crazy. I'm just saying things, because how did he stall for so long, Ship? That was crazy.
Yeah, when it comes to Venom, you're holding on to two things. You want to make sure you have that Feast of the Abyss ready when your E is off cooldown. You want to dance with that E as long as possible. Get down to, as little health as you can. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it definitely had its place and had its influence on, when you see Luna out there in the battlefield, just the raw damage output, the raw healing, the ultimate's obviously incredibly strong. The pros are now noticing.
Frost, but these days it seems like even after the nerfs, people like to play a ton of that character. Meanwhile, Juker going really aggressive to Prince. Oh no, nobody's there to save him.
Yeah, that was great aggressive play. Like we talked about yesterday. We talked about yesterday having that Ultron drone on. Oh my goodness, as 3 go down, make that 4 and 5 as Hydron cleans up the rest. On Duelist actually running a lot of Storm, but now seeing the strange change, obviously working together to try to find a way through this. Aurora going to take out Ice. Chenzo going to turn that right back on C4th, though, as the numbers are even for this fight. Goma says no longer are they even as they drop Juker, trying to keep the pressure on and shove into this point early, take that space, as we do have Human Torch just laying a ton of fire on the ground, making life very difficult for the defense. Hydron gets shoved in. They're still holding on with those shield as we do see the Eternal Bond out goes the Eye of Agamotto. And yes, Jalen gonna find Sleepy early. That's a nice start there for Alani as they keep the pressure and Qs are being popped as we do see Aurora make that play as well. Goma gonna drop Aurora right back though and shut that down as Joker takes out Chenzo. These fights are always so back and forth as Hydron falls to Prince.
He's gonna have to find a lot more considering what just happened. Now here comes an ultimate, but it's into a Meteor M, and the overwhelming presence of Ailaniwind is just there. Hydron does have the portal, but I mean, nobody's able to touch. He's not going to be here in time. Sure. Oh, never mind. They touch with the invisible boundary. You can get the eliminations through it, though, so Sleepy's going to go down. Now they don't have to sustain, and they're against so many ultimates from Ailaniwind.
Yeah, Chenzo really doing a good job there, holding on to that supernova and cleaning up virtually everyone. It's so difficult to come through.
Has been that guy to pop off with it. Does have the Luna Snowflake as well, the idol. Stunned on the opposite, on the high ground, though, by Aurora, and that's a great pick.
You can really put your healing into flyers in Season 2.5, and that can, ultimately lead to some really strong fights. Chenzo showcasing what I'm talking about with some hyper-aggression, but Hydron turns it around on K-Jules. Down goes Prince as well, as 2 of the back line now falls for Nightmare. Ailaniwind just trying to hold on with a few, as Jalen is there, Goma and Chenzo trying to get a few more. Hydron takes out Jalen, though.
Tony Stark, and right now, Ailaniwind, they have to deal with that presence on the height.
And here we go. Instantaneous Eye of Agamotto. Still no value, and it's very strong to be using that ultimate from Emma into anyone in the sky, forcing them to walk in a straight line slowly. Enables your backline to find some pressure onto that height. Usually it's very difficult to land shots as we see Ice land the Meteor M onto Micah. The Meatball finds some value as we are going to keep the pace forward. Again, Ice goes down there. Aurora making sure that they paid for it. Hydron is very charged up with this dark magic. Will we see the E find value? And Psylocke going to start the dance of the butterfly. Doesn't get a pick. Sleep A1 not able to do so. And as I say that, down goes Sleep A. Chenzo cleaning that up as Jalen takes out Aurora. And once again, Ailaniwind winning these early and more difficult fights where they might have been down. Strong positioning here. Chenzo kind of out in the open, not afraid as they're playing very strong. Hydron going to take out Jalen early, and that is going to be difficult. May force a retake here by the team as we are going to see some Qs pop. Juker playing hyper aggro. We do lose another as a play coming in right now from Jalen, using that teleport to potentially wall off some heals. No, they are just going to look to try to take somebody out of the back line. Will it work out as we see some strong pressure? And here comes Chenzo putting a ton of damage down on the ground, trying to buy them some free space up in the sky. We do see Invisible Boundary holding on. Will they find any value here? Goma is one, not able to escape as Juker finds one, making this on the side of Nightmare early on. Will Nightmare collapse? We do see the Eye of Agamotto come out. Does give two as Ice cleans up Sleep A.
Yeah, great Eye of Agamotto from Jalen again to come back into it, and it was looking pretty solid for a Nightmare until that portal, like you mentioned. And now, after the ultimate K, Jules gets stunned up, but it doesn't really matter, right? Nightmare sort of just walking towards his objective, kind of running in. Hydron will have that portal, though, and you can hear it's opening up, but will it get there in time?
Looks like it will, and this touch is going to be... Ooh, yeah, it is going to go through. Oh, no.
We're stuck.
Putting the portal a little too close. Luckily, has the flight to take and push through. May be difficult. What you need to do here, for everyone watching, you need to go through the other side of the portal at your spawn. Circle around and go through the other side, and you will be able to make it through. It's a common misconception and a mistake a lot of people make in ladder. Use the other side of the portal if you're blocked. It's not over. And there's a great Eye of Agamotto to collapse. Hydron finds Chenzo even after the portal issue and is going to keep the pressure on, make that two. Goma turns it around on C4, though, and the numbers are slowly dwindling for the side of Ailani. The res goes up from C4. They are going to keep this pressure on. Will Ailani be able to come retake? Ice holding on to the point here. 2 left. 3 left now. But it's not going to be enough as they do go down before point 2. Really well done. Going to have that heal. Going to use that team up too from Invis just to keep a little bit of extra health. It's very difficult to find value. Chenzo trying to make that happen. No. Juker going to find Goma through the mayhem. And Juker is just playing a very aggressive torch here. Going to show you that torch may have been slightly nerfed in the last batch, but it does not matter when you play him like this. Juker on the height again. Ailaniwind very low as Jalen is very low. Prince goes down 3 as Sleep A takes out Jalen and Ice. And one thing that's left on is the raw damage power. C4 is going to find Chenzo there, make that 2 as K Jules goes down. Ascend and descend button if you're trying to play these heroes at a high level, as it takes a whole nother level of difficulty to try to take them out of the sky with a KO when they're moving in all different directions, even in the Z axis. Is Micah going to find Ice there with an well done with the Eternal Bond? Micah another on a Goma. Hydron going to drop Prince, and wow, that is a good fight again by Nightmare. It might be a forced teleport play this early. Chenzo going to hold the height here.
They can't do it. What do you do, man? Like they have Invisible Woman, they have Ultron. Like, this guy's not killable. Like, there's so much help here. Luckily, they are coming back in with ultimates, but it's going to be so hard for versus the Supernova.
Yeah, and here we go. Up in the sky, Meteor M trying to find something. Unfortunately, not just to buy some time and some shots, as we do see the follow-up. Will there be any drops through this invisible boundary? And we do see the tackle down, trying to escape. Good positioning. C4 just using this as a actual, a healing ultimate for once, which we rarely see, but it does do a ton of healing. Actually, 6 times the amount of Invisible Woman, which is surprising to some, but it's usually used offensively as we push in as Chenzo trying to find more value off in the off angle, doing a good job here resetting as a team, not allowing a lot of those ultimates to get value, just kind of a stalemate, but it is right at the end of point here with almost 4 minutes on the clock.
What happened to Mika? What happened to Micah? Micah's just off the map? 3 minutes and 25 seconds away from Nightmare to punch their ticket moving forward, but they just lost one of their strongest players in Micah.
A battle. Ultimate advantage is actually dead even with both Strange ready. Jalen's ready. Same with Hydron. Hydron early on takes out Chenzo, and that's going to help Juker take that space in the sky, as it is going to be a battle. Goma versus Juker, and there is that Eye of Agamotto.
Great job by the Invisible Woman on the opposite side to push him forward. Eye of Agamotto comes back through to connects onto a ton of members, but the healing, is it there? No, it's not.
Yeah, that was a really strong eye as we do see the psionic seduction out. Multiple people walking. Will it be able to... Oh, no. Hydron takes out Jalen there. Is able to find one up in the sky with a meteor. Will it land? There's a shield in the face. Going to be very difficult. Oh, tries to find the off angle. Great idea there by Ice. Unfortunately, not able to work out for him, but just predicting movement there. The fight is back to being neutraled out as we do have a strategist line on both sides. Nightmare going to hold on to 2 here, and it is going to be difficult for Alani to hold on as we do see that invisible boundary out. Juker trying to find a pick through it, as you can do when you have 4 of those fireballs on the ground. It actually is enough to burst through some of these strategist ultimates.
Uh-oh. They got to stay on the payload, though. You have to stay on the objective. 3 meters left to go. Does find that Ultron in the sky. Invisible Woman, though, on the inside angle to give them some more sustain. Ailaniwind have nothing, man. It's about to be over. Oh, no, it is. Nightmare. Get into the next round. Take out Ailaniwind.
Looks like a totally different team, man. They're just flowing together. Their compositions have changed. They're playing much more selflessly, and we're seeing some plays from the Vanguards, from the Duelists. It has been so back and forth. As you see, Hydron 13 final hits, and Juker with 11. Aurora finding 7 as well with 26k damage, the most in the game. Just, it's really a team.
You know, people realizing how strong it is, and you know, a lot of people having to add that to the arsenal, making sure you can get rid of that is big.
Yeah, I think a lot of the triples driven
to help those flyers, and Shikigami relying heavily on that Punisher, but here comes that early portal play that we always see.
I'd love to see it set up with a turret like that. You rarely find that as you're trying to put some pressure onto the Doctor Strange. Now using it on point. Great tackle there. Not able to find value, but you do see that drone. Again, Brady going to take out Kuna. Nice pick there as numbers are now back in the side of Luminosity, keeping the pressure off point and just trying to get this thing capped. And then Doctor Strange inside that bubble, and immediately going to see that eternal bond buying more time on point, matched by a strangling, or excuse me, by an invisible boundary. Out goes the Punisher gets taken down by Yang. And Wicca onto Spenny back and forth, and nobody has captured the point just yet.
Okay, nobody's captured the point. These fights are incredibly lengthy. Brady, though, sitting over the top side, just kind of pumping in so much damage. Shikigami missing that Punisher now is definitely brutal. Here comes that Ultron as well over the top, just kind of securing even more damage towards everybody in Shikigami who are hiding. They did lose Haluk, though. Everybody is so low. Pride falls to 1 HP, and Brady does get the final elimination, but oh my god, what a tackle!
Yeah, we've seen a lot more Wolverine's anti-air over the last few days than I would have ever thought. Wolverine, an incredibly strong HP drain-based hero, who does have that iframe and reset on his HP bar when getting taken down with the passive. But Lorenz gonna take out Yang there.
He's trying to go for immediate dash into the sky. Does get pushed away by Invisible Woman.
And there goes the Eye of Agamotto popped. Will they get Haluk? No, they will not. Down goes the Meteor M. Not able to find value either. Great play there across the board defensively. Lorenz finds Haluk early. And a second. Down goes Spenny. Lorenz on a 3-piece. Keep the pressure going. And this is why you need to ban Punisher against Shikigami.
Meteor M, so much lethality right now in LG. The best thing they could deal with it is a bubble.
Yeah, Shikigami ult advantage up. Do have that eternal bond kind of with the last stand too, and it might come very soon here. Don't even need to use it as Haluk goes down. He gets a trade with Lorenz. Pride finds Spenny. Back and forth it still goes here as Luminosity trying to hold on to the point. Yang using that bond onto the middle of the point. Wolverine trying to tackle off, and the push to follow up onto Alfie. That's a great play there by Wicca. Kinetic too, as they do sweep.
Oh my god!
Beautifully well done there by Medora. You gotta love to see it at this level of plays. It's not really as expected. So well done.
What a vibe killer. What an absolute vibe killer from Medora, like you said. And beautifully well done, like you mentioned. Luminosity. That was insane.
Oh, great. I actually didn't know you could break that. Learning something new here every day. As here we go with the Galactic Legend immediately going to get that final judgment. Does it find the Legend off the right angle? Great positioning there by March. Bubble protecting Lorenz was massive there during that ultimate, but still going to get one down. Lorenz falls. Yang, Freddy going to find Wicca. Haluk going to find Kinetic, and that is great play here by LG, who's showcasing that it may have just been a fluke, and they're back on their feet.
Fair play. I mean, Doctor Stranges have been impactful. Let's see if Medora can do the same thing he did earlier. Brady, oh no, oh my god, so close.
And we might be seeing a big eye here shortly. Out goes the dance of the butterfly. Not able to find too much value. Does force out an ultimate there by Kinetic. Medora going to take out a Luke early.
You want the cloak ult on the point. I mean, they just sustained it up. Shikigami side. Here comes the Eye of Agamotto, like you mentioned. Here comes one frozen on March. And then Pride is there with the follow-up with the Meteor M. Last stand does connect, but he's going to go down during that. And, oh no, traded back and forth. Luminosity. I mean, they're still holding on to the objective right now, but Shiki have sort of worked themselves towards this point. Portal, meanwhile, comes through to retouch. Pride opens it up as well onto Brady. So those are some nice eliminations to connect as They have so much to stay with that invisible boundary from Wicca as well. They're going to flip that point. I mean, there's still some more delay. Actually, not going to flip the point necessarily just yet. Just some Vanguards delaying. And eventually, after they get rid of the Star-Lord, who has that Galactic Legend, they'll be able to get that cap.
Yeah, great pick there again. March goes down Breddy as well as they are holding on. It's 19.
You've been muted in Discord.
That makes sense to me, brother. I was casting out. I think they heard me, but you didn't. March gonna take out Wicca. Alfie on the kinetic there too. And hey, we still power through this as Breddy gets 3. Spenny taking out Madara, and down goes another.
Luminosity, who have 4, like we said. I mean, that's gonna be brutal to deal with 90% on the board.
And here goes the retake again with the dance of the butterfly onto the back line. It might find Punisher early. Does. Lorenz goes down. That is a giant pick off the rip here as March and Breddy are now on one, popping off together, potentially winning this for him as Logan just trying to make that touch. Will it happen? Weapon X, more of a subject than a human at this stage of the comics, is able to get on there, and they do touch as we do see the Venn diagram up for the invisible boundary. Out goes the Eye of Agamotto. Great play there by Haluk to show that you can still get the job done through that. If you're a solid Strange, March and Alfie gonna find Kuna and Pride, and that is a ton of early damage, and that could be enough to shove them in and end this round, giving Luminosity the W they needed to push this to point 3.
Pushing to point 3. The vibes might be back for Luminosity, just like the vibes are back between you and me. I was worried. I mean, I thought
but yeah, no, good call out there. Very similar to the comms. I think it kind of flowed either way, man, as we get the job done despite the situation. March, the counter portal. Luke going to say, nah, I'll do that. And they are going to try to find one, just the kidnap, as you can see, maybe right here. Onto a backwards Madara, no, not able to do that. It did get one as Lorenz. There it is. You love to see the kidnap play, and it does work out for him as LG gets the early take, but tackled right back into the left hand and turns those numbers right around. Make that 4. Really well done by Kuna to find a 4-piece on an insane ultimate. And Shikigami
with that 3-man last stand, and I mean, nobody's going to save that, even the Eternal Bond from Yang. And now coming to this one, here comes Madara into this upcoming fight. That's a huge Eye of Agamotto.
Okay, and here we go again. Kuna gonna find Breddy early on in this fight. That's 2 in a row. You can't have that happen. We are gonna start again. Wolverine gonna try to find another early pick here. Kuna doing a great job of that. And here goes Lorenz with the final judgment. But there is a counter alt here from March trying to find a play, not able to get it done. The Meteor M not finding purchase either. Well done from the countering on both sides, but Kuna gonna find a Luke early again. Kuna finding these early picks without an ultimate even. And yes, Breddy gonna come right back and just have the judgment returned as they take 2. Breddy looking for more, but no, out goes the Eternal Bond to stall a little bit longer. Almost made something huge happen there as it is matched, but Kuna gonna find Spenny again.
Downing Spenny again, just able to kind of do so much work towards the point on Wolverine, kind of how this character works in the passive. He does so much, but Breddy trying to find these strategists, just playing in that Cloak and Dagger ability just makes it so hard to get them, and both Breddy and March gonna fall, get KO'd out of here. Shikigami have an absolute death grip on this point.
Here, they are dropping back to try to find another good position. Alfie is going to be on the Captain America to help with that stall, but ooh, that's a tough look. They're going to lose Spenny early there as we do see the invisible boundary popped. It's all about using these ultimates now. No reason to hold on. Loren's going to find Alfie early, and that is a huge pick. Una onto Haluk, and that could be enough here for Shikigami.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, Breddy all alone. Everybody inside that Eternal Bond as well. I mean, it's pretty much hopeless at this point. Everything is done for LG. They looked good on round number 2, but round number 3, they just got smoked by Shikigami. The slingshot right back in their faces.
Back and forth here. Both teams looking very dominant. I truly do believe this second map, being now in the favor of Luminosity, could go their way, and we could push to a map 3. May have cast or cursed it, but Breddy, 11 final hits there on the side of LG. Great play there. It's matched by top 500 for a while with a buddy of mine. We got up there, but running that Wolverine. I ran Wolverine with 5 strats in the back. I've run 6 duelists. I've run 6 Vanguards.
6 duelists. All
of which can work if you just commit and you understand when to make the full swap. Still viable with a strong Strange like this, and we are going to see an early hold. March going to find an early pick there on Kuna, and they try to get the tackle here. I think this is a very strong Wolverine map with those off angles. March going to find a second there, and that's a great start here for LG as they take out Madara as well.
Yeah, right now, Luminosity doing good. I mean, they also have ultimates ready to go. That was a tough fight to lose as well for Shikigami, but they already portal come back through on the flank.
And here we go with that portal teleport damage I'm talking about with the turret. Hey, that's a little Shib special, although everyone's doing it these days. That's a great tackle there. Great play as Alfie cleans up everyone. Great patience. Way to figure that out and force their way through the point here.
Come back, but they're against Brady with that last stand who can be kind of big.
Yeah, Brady with a nice tackle there. Alfie gonna clean that up on Madara, and that's a huge last stand. Give me 4 as he sweeps through the opposition. Brady with an absolute beefy tackle running through the back line now, as we are gonna slowly tick away on everyone else. Punisher gonna fall. Down goes Wicca trying to contest the point.
Yeah, that was an insane ult. And right now they're giving Brady way too much space. I feel like he's just able to get whatever he wants. And look at this, another free grab. Like, what are we doing, guys? Running right in to this Wolverine. We're already at the end of the point. And they just lose another person. Madara goes down.
Yeah, and that's a nice little set of play as we're going to see some sort of hurricane here from Kuna trying to get some value. It's very difficult to find value through that Eternal Bond, though, as they are able to take out one. And there's Kuna and Lorenz taking out Haluk early. Make that 2 as Alfie falls, and that could be enough for them to hold on here. Good retake here by Shikigami. Pulls out the shotty, trying to find value onto the Wolverine, get that passive pop. But Wolverine, with that damage reduction, with focus, is so difficult to take out essentially another Vanguard. They're not able to get that tackle there and reset with the team.
Yeah, Brady's just going to farm another ultimate. Right now, it's about how she...
Yeah, we are going to see a slow up in the pace here as they're readying up for the next fight, setting up. Great push there by Invis to slow that and be very close as well, as we are going to see queues for days. Great ult here by Madara. Going to find 2 as they do sweep through that, not having to overutilize ultimates at all, just using 1, as there will be 6 here for Luminosity.
Compared to Emma Frost, who does a lot of damage. Now, here comes a very early ultimate for Lorenz.
You gotta be cautious to use that Eternal Bond into an ulting Punisher like that, especially at this level. Just absolutely rips through, counters an ultimate, and finds more just value out the wazoo here. Incredible work. And there's a last stand tackle trying to turn that back. Brady gonna find Madara there, and that's nice to turn these fights back in their favor.
It has been chewed off the clock for the side of Luminosity. I mean, they gotta win a fight here.
Yeah, here we go with another Hurricane off the rip. Will it pull out an ultimate? We do see the last... Oh, we see a ton of ults getting popped. Lorenz going to find Haluk early. Very low as Alfie finds 2. Well done for Alfie. March going to find it. Brady, the entirety of Luminosity. So they do have that bond for the next fight. Well done by LG to push this thing to point 2.
Yep, exactly what they need, but now not a lot of time.
Yeah, Lorenz very close here to an ultimate. Final judgment ready. The tackle's out early. But they go to play off it. We do see... It's just a hyper aggro with the Eternal Bomb. Team running through them. Shikigami trying to press it through their spawn, and it does work out for him. Insane work here.
Trying to catch them out, or sorry. Oh my God, Madara though. Spawn.
I had no idea about that spot. That's insane. Finding 2. Luca to take out Pride, though. Madara finds Spenny. And pretty much an even trade, but what a spot there. Take that one to the bank. Put that in your games in the ladder, folks.
There, but the bubbles from Magneto kind of resulted in some more picks. Here comes Lorenz as well on the backside to come back with that Punisher ultimate. Is he going to find eliminations, though? Why are you running towards it, Haluk? Oh, no.
Difficult position to be in there. That reduced HP on the Groot walls, making it a little less value to pop that E up, but Lorenz going to take Q's ready for action. Pride going to be close, and here comes the Hurricane. Going to force out Yang, potentially. We may not see one. Spenny might have to use Invis ult here. Just trying to buy time and wait out an ultimate. Good patience there by Luminosity. Hurricane getting no value besides forcing that out, which is enough, maybe, in this final fight as we do push through this first bend.
Yeah, bursting through it. Brady still has that last area to go. Mark's going to commit the ultimate as well to push on forward. Is he going to be met by that Meteor M? It's met by an invisible boundary. No Meteor M in sight just yet.
Okay, and we do see this pop again. We do see the last stand coming from Wolverine closely here for Brady. Out goes 1. Pride gonna find Yang. Traded again as Alfie takes Kinetic. And then Wicca, Alfie popping up here in a 2-piece back-to-back. Losing Brady like that is tough. Brady did try to use that ultimate. Lorenz finds 2 in Kuda, and that could be enough right there unless March gets this teleport through.
It's there, but no, can't hop on through, man. Shikigami stopped Luminosity. We saw Stacker come through from Lorenz at the very end. Just these small, minute details, and stats-wise, they look amazing.
You know, how can we get this much value with each individual?
I mean, this is the most innovative stuff. They bring him into the side. Oh, no, kidnapped. Jesus, the bubble's there as well.
That was a great play. I love ingenuity like that. Very smart, but they are not going to be finding too much value as down goes Breddy. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but definitely a team setup play here. But it's kind of backfiring for them as they are going to slowly stagger as Yang goes down. Kuna finds one. And
that's the only thing to say about it. I mean, it didn't pull him all the way in. Alfie with the portal. Is it even going to be there in time? I mean, the cart's got so much space.
Ooh, yep, they do get the touch, I believe. The push out. Spenny falls early. The Rens with an early pick, and yeah, down goes Haluk as well. And this is not going to work out for them. This portal was more desperate just to try to get that time. It goes to show you that backfiring off that initial play. I like the idea of the play a ton, and it had a ton of potential. Unfortunately,
on that flyer in the sky, but here comes Lorenzo with a very early ultimate. Do they die to this, man? Don't fall. Okay, they're going to use the invisible boundary to sustain for now.
Okay, and here we go again with the next fight. You're talking about ultimates, and it seems to be even. And yep, Luminosity pressing Q across the board. We are going to see a ton. Breddy takes out Lorenz early. That's a great start. Kuna trying to find something. No, Spenny going to get that pick. So it looks like Luminosity are stepping back up here, getting on their feet as alts are going to be roughly even in these next fights. Still holding on with his W. Breddy going to take out Wicca, keep the pressure forward. Down goes another, and that's going to be enough to wipe them, send them back to the spawn door. Alts are dead even right now with a Vanguard. Ooh, strategist line. Out goes Kinetic, immediately launching that. Great positioning there to hide behind. Not a... Oh my goodness. Broke the strange shield prior to the Meteor M, dunking on virtually everyone as a three-piece goes down. And
on you. And there's less space to give. Meanwhile, Shikigami now have to set up this upcoming play. It's March to go first. Did they disengage or do they want to fight into it? I would go for the disengage. No, they commit invisible boundary, so they're trying to fight back. Counter invisible boundary. Somehow Lorenz gets an elimination as well.
I think the invisible boundary a little too far up there. I'm not sure if they got a ton of value, but Kuna going to follow up here with the Hurricane, and might have been a little bit of an it may have some value. I think it forced out the bond, but we are going to press for his Madara. Going to use that E to expel, deal a ton of damage, try to get that alt charge back quickly. Ooh, good sweep here as Shikigami is cleaning up the rest. They're going to try to portal them out at the spawn door, and this is why Strange does so well on this map, and they're going to counter portal. They thought
stun from the Hela.
Oh my goodness. Wow. What a play by Breddy, and great eye by you to call that out, as they are going to be able to touch now if Alfie can get them in there.
And they're coming back through. Punisher ultimate on the cart, though. That's going to be tough to deal with. Ailaniwind doesn't matter against no CC. Pushed away as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, like we mentioned, you cannot CC. A Punisher mid-ultimate is CC immune, and got a ton of value there. Kuna got to take out two more. 1 minute 40 on the clock, and it's looking like this one's going to get shoved through by Shiki. But Alfie finds one. Will they be able to even the odds here? Out goes the invisible boundary. Wicca just trying to keep them in this fight. They've got to keep touch while still playing slow with good pace. Us against the world. Out goes the Eternal Bond, and this is going to be held for a while. Breddy going to find Kinetic. Haluk going to take out another march onto Madara, and this is getting turned around as Luminosity does a great job playing patient, very much ready for Shikigami. They saw that off angle, and they tried to hide there. Alfie tried to hide so that the portal wasn't seen, but instead it was found. Shikigami, Kuna going to take out Breddy early, though, and that's difficult. A lot of ults get popped. Madara going to take out a second. Up in the sky we go. Will there find more value? Not quite yet. March takes out one, but Kuna drops two as Haluk and Alfie go down. This is back in the favor of Shikigami, as they are going to take this thing through.
Breddy's flank was snuffed out by Shikigami. Kuna was the one to find it as well as the rest of the team. They just played for looking for that hell.
Yeah, this is where those nerves really come into play. 70K on the line for the first set and staying inside this tournament. And here comes some alts pop. A lot of protection. Shields go up to keep them in as they find another. March going to turn around and take out Lorenzo through that. Holding on here in the sky with Hela ready to launch it. Spenny double alt advantage here for Luminosity, who is going to pop that Q early. Eternal Bond goes out. Matched again. And who can get the job done? Ailaniwind. I'm not sure how much value it got. Oh! Shikigami with a ton of picks, committing everything. No, Luminosity with 3 ultimates held are not going to be able to stop it. And I think that's enough for Luminosity to lose this one, as Madara's going to portal them out. That should be it.
Are you kidding? What?
Wow.
Oh no, Shikigami to find everybody else.
Wow. I mean, that is such a tough look there. Luminosity were playing so great. Shikigami looked great there too. Luminosity in that final fight, losing 3 with 3 Qs ready is such a tough look. Their whole team looking pretty even across the board. Likely just use Penny for the new team up, which allows Penny to give 50 additional HP to everyone on the team rather than Rocket just giving 25. I'm surprised we haven't seen that today.
Full dive comp, meanwhile, for DarkZero alongside the Mantis with the damage boost. That's what we see, I think, a little bit more. Like, it's those 2 healers. Most people don't really think you want to have a Mantis as a second one, and maybe that's why. Both Cyber and Chime fall. the healing a little bit lacking, and everybody just kind of collapses.
Yeah, Techie doing a good job
even through all that damage coming through from Smash.
Yeah, Smash ready to use that butterfly, but it is going to be countered out here as we do see an immediate bond, eternal bond here, pressing it on both sides. Ton of damage coming out. Nice tackle there. ZQ going to find Tap early. Avery going to take out Baser, though, and that is back and forth here. Baser actually subbing in, I believe, from the last few matches. They do a great job on support. AAD going down. Brute gonna take out Chime, and it is back and forth again, but Techie at roughly 60% this early.
60% indeed. They're trying to just capture it here and now. Avery with the Storm ultimate. Is there anything to counter it? No. No strategist ultimates here. So I mean, it's surely going to run people over. No, able to get away. Is that Cloak and Dagger? Nice job evading all of that damage, but here comes Tap on the backside. Smash able to get one, though. No targets here for Tap as well on the point, but at least they're securing objective. Smash goes down.
Yeah, it's difficult because I like what they're doing where they're not using they're focusing on having a little more of sustained heals, correct? But the problem is they're playing a dive comp, so they want to try to do it quickly, but unfortunately these fights are just lasting too long, so you're starting to see the negative effects of having things like Mantis and Cloak only out there without a triple. Chime gonna find two as I say that. Smash gonna take out Blur, but even so, 90%. And no ults in the side of DarkZero for this next fight. Punisher to deal a ton of damage and find an early pick, which did happen last fight. Smash is putting some strong damage into Storm. Here comes the ultimate for Johnny. Johnny gonna try to find something with a supernova, but no, matched immediately by Eternal Bond. But look at that damage output. It is strong. It's just not gonna be enough. Chime gonna reset. Does get Groot ulted. Strangling Prison out. Avery gonna follow up and take out Chime right after. And that could be enough here as they are holding on. Invisible Boundary pop too. Smash try to find something. Avery and Brute going to clean up the rest, and I think that might be the swan song until we get a teleport play as Chime is switching over to Strange.
I mean, it's going to be hard. It goes down. I mean, all that damage boost from the Mantis is pretty much negated. Here comes Avery as well with the Storm ult.
Yeah, going through the portal and just blocking off the back line is kind of genius. Dancing in and out to force the team to stay separated. Brute going to take out Chime early there, and that's going to be a problem. Numbers back in their favor. Techie still holding on to Brute's ultimate. Will they try to hold it from map 2? And here we go as we get the judgment out. Final judgment onto Emma. Diamond form potentially to reduce some of that damage here. Not going to matter. Good pick here on the back. Cap is 1 HP. Does almost escape DZ. Doing a good job. Cube, Z-Cube, excuse me. Tap finds 2 more. And wow, that is a good W there for Techie, who looked clinical on that point.
I mean, I like the... It's just like I said, the execution's been rough. I mean, Chime has been doing a ton. Look, 15,000.
Finding that backline a lot, and if it's not happening, you know, you may need to shift something up. So they do have very much of a fully commit dive comp, and it just doesn't seem to be fully working for him. So that's a great ultimate there by Brute. It is going to be matched right back. Great wall there by Blur. Try to buy some time. Diamond form doesn't allow you to get trance, so good play there as well, as nobody's following. As Smash finds one. Smash on the early pick. This is what they need to see in these fights. As Avery goes down, they're going to collapse. Great ult there by Blur with a Strangling Prison, and they're going to follow up for 2 more. And now it looks like they will hold on. As Techie is turning this around again. It's so back and forth, and that's another pick on a Cyber from Tap, and they are going to take this point early as DarkZero held on for 15%.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not working right now for DarkZero. Z-Cube staggered as well. You got to focus on her and hope that Cloak and Dagger is maybe not looking towards Invisible Woman, because guess what? She could save her team as well with that aura.
Yeah, and also that Dagger Storm bubble does a good job too. There's EQ. That's a nice pick, and that's what they needed off the rip. Great focus there. Smash going to follow up now on Avery, and there's Chime on the Brute, and that's a great team just sweep right there. All on the right target at the right time. Down goes another, and they are going to take this point back. 44% is not a massive take there for pressure back and forth. We do see bubble pop there. Immediately the Dagger Storm is gone. That's a good cooldown use. Tap pops that ultimate though. Final judgment does a pretty good job of taking out Cloak. Not able to do so. Great movement there by Cloak, which was very close to losing that as they need to hold on. Tap dealing a ton of damage to Emma. We're going to follow up, and down goes Cyber. Jabori taking out Tap and Woofles. And this is big as they are back and forth. Smash trying to deal a ton of damage to Groot. Just going to hold it. Here comes the Cap Shuffle. A dance I've seen for a long time, just trying to maintain this point. The problem is the point is not theirs, so it's almost worth resetting if you're not able to get anything. Smash gets one, though, as they do take it on to Avery. Blur falls suit from Baser, and that is good play, but Tap's going to try to teleport them back in to retake.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna stall up to 99 probably. Tap gets slept. So much damage as well. So everybody coming into this point, just damage boost onto pretty much everybody here. Nobody else can take the portal, and that cooldown is now gone. I love this. DarkZero looking a little bit better. I think that this composition is good. It's just going to be very hard to consistently play it as we have another little boy going on a rock.
That's awesome. I mean, I gotta tell you, I see the vision of what DarkZero's trying to do. It's just very difficult. Ultimate up for Cyber. Ready? Chime. Ooh, very low, as we are gonna only have one, and there it is gonna be matched. Brute gonna launch out, and ults could be coming in the favor of Teki here with a double strat ult shortly. There's Brute using that ult, getting one to start walking Chime. That's a great tackle. Not able to get the finish just yet, though. Good idea. And we are gonna see it back and forth. DarkZero putting some serious damage on. Great work here by Smash, trying to deal some damage out. They are gonna reset as a team. Battling over that health pack may be a little difficult, and the point gets taken back by Teki, who then sweep. Unfortunate.
Yeah, this one's looking kind of Jover. I mean, maybe they could have a portal play from Cyber, who's switching to that character, but everybody, Smash goes down. Okay, you got some delay from Human Torch. Portal going to come through. He can portal on the other side, so as long as he sustains and just kind of lives, but it's going to be a hard fight now for DarkZero. Last second, do have an ultimate to sustain.
And they do get in there, and they do use the Eternal Bond, and that could be enough to buy them a full other fight. We got to see all charge. It's going to be pretty even. Q's are pop for everyone, but Tap, great shots there to get two. Avery going to find Z-Cube, and that's likely going to do it. And further map one, yep, just like that. Teki, really well played.
It just feels so much easier to play this combo. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I like the idea. Just it's hard. I think it's a little maybe too far ahead of the game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I saw the idea. It got some value, but I do think with this damage boost comp that you're kind of referencing, doing things like in comparison to something like Luna Snow, right? Like you can find value with Emma. Emma's going to trance something along the line of Invis, find some value there. And so you're keeping the Emma. Maybe there's a conversation to say it's a little easier now.
These two goats already at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, great focus there on Iron Man in the sky. Just that reset. He was getting hard focused, and this strategist said, nah, not today. Great ultimate here by AAD. Avery going to find one on Chime, and that could be enough. Oh, and there's that blind. So well played. Great positioning by AAD here. Smash going to take out Woofles to try to turn around, but it's just not going to be enough to touch here as they shove through point one very much uncontested.
I mean, cool. And Iron Man specifically, I mean, he's like kind of like not hard meta. He's sort of on the edge of the meta as well. So it's cool to see him do well.
Yeah, we've seen Iron Man in this tournament a few times. I think Iron Man's in a strong position. He's also one of those flyers that has a good amount of movement and can escape, but that additional health on his E has been a massive change for him. It helps, you know, him sustain a little more into things like, you know, say the Spider-Man that just gives him more sustain, and it does help a lot. But we are going to see the pressure and the space taking. This just goes to show you, look at this space by Blur. Throwing a wall out, and that's a great ultimate here. I'm not going to lie. Really well done here by Cyber, trying to pull a lot of people in. They're going to try to match that up in the sky. We go with Brute. Looking for the, oh, downtown meteor. No, not sure what stuff that. Could have been an Invis shield. Not quite sure. Up in the sky again. Got us a death, dealing a ton of damage, but still not going to be enough to push that through. But
at least they'll have another ultimate in the side of Ad, but they're going to walk up aggressively with that bubble. Him first. Brute finds Z-Cube already.
Okay, and here comes the next fight. Brute finding one. Here goes the South. The dance of the butterfly. Not able to make anything happen just yet. Teki looking really good together again. Their play is strong, and there is an Eternal Bond out, shoving them right through that invisible boundary, keeping the pressure on. There goes the Terran. Kate finds one as Baser goes down. Wow, and I'm seeing a ton of value by Cloak here, who maybe had been taking his backseat in the last few metas, is right back to the top here, where the Vans are looking like this, looking very clean on the battlefield as we do have this pulse cannon ready. Will it find value? A lot of Iron Man are playing low to the ground, so there's not a lot of time to react to it with a shield.
They're trying to kind of set that up, but at the moment, not really able to find much. I mean, you have that ready to go, like you said, maybe waiting for a strategist ultimate to come alongside it, but Z-Cube, maybe he'll be there to deflect it. Here comes Blur, by the way, back from spawn with the portal.
DarkZero does have Jabori's ult ready, and that's going to be it, as Woofles is going to launch that dance floor out early. Avery ready to counter, and here it goes. Will the shield be able to protect that Eternal Bond? Oh, it did not protect it, as Avery finds that pick early, and that is massive for Teki on this push as two go down. We lose another. Smash goes down. Ad is popping here on the Cloak. Just raw damage here, and they are going to keep pressing forward through point two.
Yeah, so the strategy there, I mean, he doesn't want to use Iron Man ult, obviously. You saw, like, in the previous part, like, why is he not pressing Iron Man ult? Why is he not going for the quantum pulse, or the maximum pulse?
So they do go to the thing to help get that damage reduction, which also can counter out that maximum pulse. It does give you enough reduction at full health to be able to hold on, and that's what I think their goal is here, to not allow Iron Man to just have free Qs onto Jabori every single ult. And here we go in the sky. Oh, what a throw. But I believe either with damage reduced or it just wasn't enough, as Tap finds three. Tap with an incredible dance of the butterfly there, shoving him into the spawn door. Tap trying to find another. Will that happen? Shoving him. You can actually deal damage through here. A lot of people think that they're getting healed through this door. And as I'm saying that, Tap gets a pick on Chime, and that is a giant pick there, shoving them into point three. And ooh, Z-Cube not able to touch, and that could be it. The swan song is no. The pulse cannon again does not get value, but good idea.
Can you move faster with one of the Eternal Bond dashes as well? Regardless, Jibbery goes down. Here comes the Invisible Boundary just to stay in a little bit longer. But it is, again, it's Eternal Bond on the other side. Teki also don't have any ultimates, so they need really good target focus right here.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the power of Iron Man in a comp like this with these bands. It's just having some struggles finding him as he's picking off everyone with that right click. Woofles on Cyber as well, and they are going to take this with 2 minutes and 5 on the clock. You got to say, I did reduce the
as a banger like me play Emma Frost. Me grab enemy team.
And I don't play a lot of Mag. I do like Mag. I just, I'm cheeks with Mag if I'm being honest. But anyway, Mag is Mag finds more difficulty in landing those.
A lot of gameplay around it. Okay, wait, we got some cheese. Okay, wait, please do this the whole time. Yo, this is actually kind of crazy though. The Mantis, Black Widow, I know we always see this. There's like a cheese thing. If they ran it, oh no, they're off the Mantis. Okay, they're gonna swap off this. No.
So we'll see if they're able to kick it up here as we start this first fight. Z-Cube off in the off angle, already taking a fair amount of damage. We lost Jabori early there. Brute, nice shot there to get the early KO. Oh, the bubble pocket. I know an Iron Man juiced out is scary as 2 more go down. Make that 3 and 4 as Smash falls as well. Wow, Teki.
Yeah, that was some nice juking indeed, but they're waiting. Axe Impulse available. Going to be able to match it as well with a Shredder's ultimate. We'll see what they do. I mean, Supernova committed by Chime. Doesn't find anything. I mean, they're just kind of creating space. Here comes an ultimate as well on the low ground. Avery just shoots into the wall.
This other rotation, I think Avery expected Cloak to move forward, and that's what you got to do as Cloak into a comp like this. You got to play a little bit of mind games. Did work out for him. Cyber finds one there. Avery is going to find Chime after the fact. Tap on a Jabori. Finding a lot of value with these ultimates. Yeah. The man on the sticks here with the controller. Smash and Cyber then turning around and getting 2 more, and Avery finding Cyber as it is a little bit back and forth. Smash getting 2 more, and that could be enough here to push them towards point.
Avery over to the Buck Chime as well, switching over to it. So 2 heroes we haven't seen so far in this series in particular, changing off those characters. Brute still having his Meteor M to be able to find Bazier, who only has that invisible boundary, and they also have Captain America ult to sustain.
Okay, and here we go again. The good teleport in. Team just playing slowly around point, using that portal to defend, actually, protect their backline a little bit instead of trying to play hyper aggro with it. Brute trying to put some damage into the backline. Chime kind of weak. Does get the shield up there. Woofle's going to pop that Q. The dance floor is out. Fate of both worlds. Turning it into damage here, trying to find a little more value as the team's playing nice and slow. Brute does have that Meteor M. Not a lot of here for DarkZero, who's slowly working up to Smash with the Dance of the Butterfly, but that's about it. Chime as well with the Kraken Impact. We haven't seen a lot of Bucky here in this tournament, but Bucky, well known for incredibly strong into frontline and things like Groot, as well as flyers with that double E now, that double ball just to pull him out of the sky. But there is the Kraken Impact. Everyone gets hit, but it is going to get countered out. Avery got to find 2 though. Gonna keep pushing forward. As
they might just give up. What do they have somebody touching? Okay, just kidding. They haven't given up, guys. They're touching the cart. Here comes EQ.
I was a little worried about that too. I saw the cap run away. I was like, wait, that may not happen, but they did get the touch somehow. Jabori falls from Avery as well, and the Meteor M not finding too much purchase. Just kidding. Down goes Cyber. Smash. Another pick with that ult, finding a lot of value. Tap gonna take out Smash though. Brute gonna drop Baser. Chime goes down as well. Tap into Z-Cube, and that's gonna do it. TEKIXD looking clinical out here, unsigned.
Surprised they used it. It was so strange. Like, they were not ready to go with the Captain America on the ult, so they wasted that ult, and they had to commit a defensive boundary that played so passive. To me, this looks like a team that is not really like well practiced or like practiced together yet. There's a lot of time that they need to work together with. Like, this is obviously a very good team, you know, mechanically speaking, but there's a lot of kinks they need to work out. Maybe they can do it.
They did ban a ton of strategists, but we know that Flyquest can run this composition very well as they use it to help them take home a tournament W. Portal strat here with the mines that you'd mentioned.
Yeah.
This is genius. If they can find somebody. Yeah, it's an immediate pick if they can find this kidnap here.
Yeah, with the I can't believe it's actually happening, Sid. I didn't think they would actually do it.
Oh,
I can't believe they did it to be in ranked, or they gonna do it now. Here's the mines. Here's the portal. No, it didn't. Did it catch anybody? It did! Oh! They did a thing! They did a thing!
Great bond there to keep the team up from the mines, but it wasn't going to be enough as the kidnap actually worked here. They do collapse through it. Audios is going to res up, though. They do have the Guardians comp, so that it may not be as valuable as you think at the moment, as the very strong burst damage and already very close to ultimate. Gale does have ultimate with Ultron, already launching that towards the backline right now, as they are going to fully commit, but we do see that out pop here for Eternal Bond on Cloak, keeping the whole team up as they move forward. Gale unable to find anything. Best takes out Pisa, though, and Flyquest is still holding on here, 40%.
Yeah, Guru's able to get one. Gilbert with the follow-up. And I was about to say, this is what happens when you kind of edge too far into gimmick territory, I suppose, with those. But I mean, it was good plays by Solaris, like you mentioned.
Unfortunately, to protect there, but they're going to keep the pressure forward. Alt advantage, once again, like I said, heavily on the side of Fly, as we do see the dance floor pop for Pizza Demon. Great work there, as Adios is not going to be able to find much value out of this ultimate. Zelos, Energy, and Vess already potentially trying to dunk on the Luna. Doesn't look like they're going to, as they keep the pressure forward. They're spinning to win here, and it does get a tardy 22% back here for Adios. Let's show you how strong that can be together. Ooh, picked immediately as Hulk goes back in. Great utilization of the iframe there. As when you are transforming, you can actually not be hit by anything on both transform methods, even when you go into your ultimate. So can be used offensively and defensively as they keep the fight going forward. Roughly 60% for Solaris.
Yeah, they're running in. Ailaniwind connects from Guru as well into energy, but no elimination. The Soul Resurgence keeps everybody alive. Pizza Demon eventually with a clap takes down Spark Chief, and oh no, this is a little bit too late from Cooper. Over the top, Meteor doesn't connect at the very least, but 2 eliminations are huge. No reds is what to bring Vess or Spark Chief back.
Energy gonna find one on Pizza Demon in the back there. Good idea with that Meteor M. Unfortunately did not land, but way to thread the needle there through the back line. Cooper is low, gonna reset there as it looks like Solaris. 85% still do have ult advantage for this next one.
And bedtime swapping over to Hawkeye to get that freeze as well. Coming up, oh my god, what a freeze! So the clobbering time gets canceled.
Great dunk there by Vess on a pizza! But 4, make that 5 as they shove in. The ult's gonna go out for Zelos, bringing everyone back, and the fight is so back and forth. Ailaniwind to shut that back down, but is not able to find any value. Cooper onto Gale, and it is going to be another battle on point with full teams brought back. Gale falls early on Solaris. Ult goes out for Borderline, and they're still holding on to point here. Is trying to deal as much damage as possible. Down goes another, but Energy does have that res. Will they be able to shut this down here?
I mean, Spark Chief SWAT has the ultimate. Energy gets res, Vess gets 1. Freeze on the point. Freezes Spark Chief for now. I mean, there's 2 freezes that can stop him from ulting, but it may not matter. Gale in the sky, trying to equalize it. Vess falls so low, but the healing is there.
Bedtime now over on the Hawkeye, finds one early on the Spark Chief, and that could be enough. Adios trying to get some picks here, putting a ton of pressure on, but they're also, oh, great dance around the back line there, playing smart, but Energy gonna find Bedtime. Gilbert onto Cooper, both of which losing 1, numbers evened out. Adios in the sky with the Bond. Bond's now gone, a heavy cooldown there to wait out, and that could be enough of a win in of itself. 96% to 99, it's anyone's game. Guru coming in with an eye, finds 1. Are they able to collapse? Gale takes out Adios. Energy goes down. Gale on a Spark Chief, onto Vess, and Gale takes them all out and gets point 1.
Are you kidding me? Absolute banger. And my God, we get it all, right? We get the callback to like 3 games ago when I was talking about how freaking Guru got me in ranked doing this stupid Penny Parker stuff, and they have a set freeze. Wait, because that's max range, right? The map? Oh, they're not doing that. Damn. The team up with the Hawkeye.
Yeah, I know. I know.
They like have a set freeze, yeah, to counter the portal.
Actually, not sure. But yeah, that's a great idea. Here you go. I thought that the freeze was going to be seen here, but no, holding on to it as we do pop out immediately. Borderline, or Bedtime, excuse me, putting the pressure on. Unfortunately, not going to find too much as they're just trying to get point early. Great movement there by the thing. Spark Chief, good dash out, very low, great Bond to keep them in the fight. And this is going to be a trade back and forth as we're seeing all spots everywhere. Gale going to be in the sky with Ultron. Pizza doing the same thing on the ground. Gilbert going to find one on Energy in the back line, and there's a pick by Gale. Bedtime on a Vess, and Solaris is just doing the job as the res goes up here for Zelos. That's 3 back. Guru onto Spark Chief. That res will come through too, and here comes the dunk. Meteor M. Bang, throws out. He does hit a shield. Great placement of that shield there. Not able to find any value off that, but it was a good idea. Spark Chief trying to make the play on the back line. Still going to be traded back and forth. Zelos on a Gale. That's a massive pick there early on as we do see the pop here from the Eternal Bond to take them back to point, and nobody has gotten point just yet.
And nobody's on point just yet either. Like you mentioned, and Spark Chief just goes in. It feels like he's a CC kind of absorber. Now, Ailaniwind, gets slapped, so he can't get the elimination during it, but maybe after it, Guru takes out Cooper, but it's traded by Energy again.
Yeah, and that's another back and forth pick there onto both of the backline. Pizza Demon falls too, and now it's going to be heavily on the side of Flyquest, where there should be no backlines besides Gale up right now. Vess going to find Guru, and they're going to walk this with point. And Flyquest devastating here, especially with shield tanks in the front line. You can actually block it with Strange, a little pro tip. Oh, but it's not able to do so. You have to jump perfectly with your shield. Vess going to drop Gilbert, and that's going to put them back up in numbers.
From the Mantis, so he's lacking a lot of the resources that Adios gets on his side.
Yeah, it was a great ult there by Spark, and they were not able to counter. We talk about the counterplay. You can actually, with Strange, if you jump prior to the ult getting to with your shield up, you can actually block the ultimate by the thing. But, you know, when it comes like a surprise like that, it's difficult. Up in the sky, bedtime, finding Cooper, looking for 2. Vest, let me see 3. Can we get more as Gale helps that out? The res is up, though, and that spin to win could be huge if they can get in there. But there's a ton of healing as the team is fully reset back on a point. And Flyquest at 78% and unrelenting here with the pressure. Great res by Zelos, who is putting them in a great spot. Adios finds Gilbert again with another ultimate. Adios getting this ult off cooldown incredibly fast.
Yeah, this ain't the vibe. I don't know what it is, but the Star-Lord is not working alongside not having the Adam Warlock Mantis team up. He's going to have to switch. He switches over to the Hela. It looks like towards the spawn now. They're also set. I mean, it's just next map. It's just next round at this point. I mean, somebody's making a touch. Nope. They use the Sonic. Sorry, they use the Sonic Seduction at the very least, but damn, that was terrible.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm using too much Zoomer lingo. You know, next we're gonna go brain rot. Give me some TikTok. You use TikTok more than me, Shipped.
Honestly, bro, you just hit my whole vocab real quick, and that hurts me. Every chance they can. They rarely are just standing out in the open. And here comes another potential kidnap play as they're trying to do this again. I love it with the Penny Parker. Do they find one? They do. Immediately. They do get the job done. That is insane how that keeps working. I love to see it as he's
going to come out of nowhere at any time. Soulbond used, though, like you said earlier, how strong that ability is. Now that it goes out, Flyquest, they try to sustain with Cooper's ultimate as well.
Yeah, we're going to see some ults not get a ton of value here while that is out, but you're just going to hold on to this point, holding the Eternal Bond. Great stun there by the thing, trying to clobber everyone. Agamotto goes out. Bedtime finds 2. Borderline, excuse me, finds 1. Guru onto Zelos, and that is going to be virtually a full team wipe as they are going to take point, and that's odds are when you take that eye there, just raining out of the heads. Ooh, great dodge there by Adios. Well played. Does have ult ready, but very low on HP. Bond is out, and now is when you can go to town. When you have this Bond out, it is a large cooldown. You got to play heavy. Bedtime with 3, Guru with 1, Gilbert with 2, and oh my! Fight. And look, you know, Flyquest needs to get this win here on this point just for the mental. Oh my goodness! Speaking of Bedtime, Adios to Adios. What a bunch of shots there by Bedtime on the high side, and they're going to keep the pressure going. Guru with an ultimate out gets a few. Can they collapse? They do. Down goes 2. Make that 3 as Guru is continuing to move forward. Vest is going to find Borderline though, and the res is up. The team's going to try to retake with an 87%, and this is where things get intense. Great dodge there by Bedtime using the iframe. We do see Guru taking out Vest. Adios in the sky, trying to get some value with this ultimate. Gilbert very low now. No more cooldowns. Down goes Gilbert. Make that 2 as Flyquest finally is able to take over this point, and they've got to lock it in here and make this a home base.
Portal walks to the right side to make sure he can't get stunned, and who are they going to try to kidnap here? They're looking for a backline.
Okay, and here we go. Teleport on. They do have time here. Plenty of time on 99 to 20. Oh, there was that jump I mentioned. Guru not getting stunned out. Spark Chief still going to find Pizza. Great play there by Spark to get to the back line through that ultimate. Bedtime's going to find energy, though, in the high side again with a great ult. And they are just owning this positioning, driving the team back. The team is all scattered all over the place. Bedtime finds Vest. Another goes down as we are losing bodies left and right. 99%. They've got to get on there. Spark Chief goes into touch. Very low, and down he goes. Can Solaris win map 1? And the teleport comes through for energy. They got to get in there, and they do. Retake again. Can the next fight work out for him? Bedtime trying to keep the pressure on the high side, or excuse me, on the off angle, keeping the pressure onto the tanks. Adios playing around that portal. Great wall play. Using that portal as well is very smart, and that's a huge pick by Vest, and that is massive for this fight. But the base is actually captured by Solaris here. We're still maintaining. Gale on the up now, trying to find a pick onto the back line. Guru is going to use that ult, takes out Spark Chief. And man, these fights are crazy. And this one could go to Solaris, but it's so back and forth.
Res soon. Oh, they have res soon, but they're just on point. Oh my goodness. They're still alive. Look, oh, it's right there. It's just the nick of time.
Oh my. This is so back and forth. As out goes another ult. We do see the Eternal Bond, and there's another Eye of Agamotto. Didn't get a ton of value. The dance floor goes out for Pizza, and it's a stall now. It's going to be a neutral fight after this, and it's going to be of major importance. If Solaris wins this fight, it is map 1 to Solaris, and it is roughly even on point. Great angles here. Everyone's all over the place. Up in the sky goes Gilbert. This could be a huge throw. Tries to land one, not able to do so, but Guru in the meantime takes out Vest. Borderline takes out Spark Chief. Bedtime onto Adios. Will they close this out? Energy goes down, and that's going to do it as Solaris takes map 1 against Flyquest, the Cinderella story of the stream team getting the job done.
Considering Flyquest got sent down due to a little bit of cheese, it felt like, and now against Solaris, down one before leaving the tournament in Solaris. What a game from Gale. What a game from Guru. The whole team stepped up. Bedtime story.
We look up top. We've got Gilbert is going to be on that Magneto. We saw a lot of good ults there, but then Guru is showcasing the Wolverine, which is something we did not have eyes on in that last match at all.
There's 4 bands that you have to throw at the other team. Flyquest didn't really react to it last time. This time they do.
And here we go again. Energy finding Gilbert.
This is what we saw in the previous one. It's tough when you give up that much space, and no ultimates are charged either. Solaris missing those ultimates. Gale comes back in with the Ultron ultimate, but it's against the Cloak and Dagger. And that's so... Wait, they actually got the elimination somehow. What? Is nobody playing in this ult? What happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened. Cooper gets 2, make that 3, and they're continuing to go and just rain here with Cloak. The ult gets popped right back. We do see the Fate of Both, or excuse me, the Eternal Bond out right now. Best gets bedtime, and that's enough to shove them through point 1. Ton of time on the clock here. Yeah, it is just 1 instance. It's all on their separate timers, so you can do it and stagger it a little bit, but actually, I'm not sure about the damage increase, if that's what you mean. Actually, I'm not sure about that. That's a great question. So Gale gonna put some damage onto the backline on Cooper. Bedtime drops adios. Gale onto Spark Chief, and now we're seeing more of the old Solaris we saw in this last match as they're playing hyper aggro and just raining on the back line. Good shot there by Gale to clean up and get a triple.
Composition. I think running either 3 duelists or 3 strategists can work out pretty well these days, and it's kind of an evolution of the meta. Here comes Adios, though, with an aggressive ultimate.
Yeah, we are going to see that pop there. We do have Bedtime, who's an incredibly strong Moon Knight. We had that conversation earlier as they find Cooper in the back. Energy going to drop Gilbert. Guru right back on Adios. Now we will match that Wolverine. Guru, a very strong Wolverine as well. Going to try to reset here with the team, find some value, potentially finding that Groot, right? It is a big problem for Groot, but it can get tackled off. So here we go as the pressure proceeds forward. Sparky pops that Strangling Prison. Zelos going to ult out too, as we do see now another Eternal Bond just slowing up the pace.
Staying on twigs like that. Meanwhile, on the main side, here comes the last stand from Guru. Doesn't connect too much. It connects on the energy. Meteor M connects into those crystals. So everybody's still alive because of that Loki. Not an ultimate, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really found their footing in the beginning. It was very much a walk there by Fly, and now the entirety of the team made some switches, some strong switches. We now see Guru on the Wolves. We now see Bedtime on the Moon Knight just to try to break some of this equipment. Energy now going to try to find the off-angle Guru, and does. Good trade there on a Pizza. Great freeze, but immediately woken up. Not going to be a great percentage of survival there as Pizza goes down. And they are running through on point 3 with 4 minutes.
Incoming, Bedtime story. He's got the hand of Gonchu. Flyquest, though. I mean, they played around a solo. Energy gets stunned. Does anybody get tired of this, though?
Yeah, it's solid damage there, forcing out some cooldowns, but no follow-up. Sparky very low, and they do manage to get 1 as down goes Sparky, forcing out some more ultimates. Gilbert going to clean that one up, and here comes the judge, jury, executioner. Will it get value there? Up in the sky! Gale and Gilbert say not today, and shove it right back at him, and now they're just going to sweep and clean up everyone else as energy falls, and we will see more, I'm sure of it, unless the reset happens. Fastball special is terrifying to go against. You throw him up in the sky, let him do his thing, as Wolverine is so tricky to counter. And here comes the Hurricane as energy flies through towards the backline. Ton of damage out, but fortunately there was an invisible boundary to keep them healthy. Borderline doing a good job kind of dancing in the back, great positioning there to stay far away. Guru takes out Spark Chief. You rarely see the Thing work well into a group like that. His Vest takes out Borderline though, and it is back and forth. Cooper gonna find 2. Energy and Adios and Vest sweeping the rest.
Solaris will be able to touch with that Captain of America. They'll have a little bit of time. Bedtime story swaps over to Hawkeye's wall off of Moon Knight. Oh, no way!
Bedtime onto Cooper there. Great shot there with the Hawkeye. Some strong damage here. Bedtime again onto Adios. Great shots again. Just raining from afar, doing a ton of work.
Oh my God.
Guru takes out energy. Spark Chief onto Bedtime, returning that right back. But Gale on top of his face is going to be very difficult to escape. And down goes Spark as well.
Or Jack Nato.
They did have a ton of success with that in the past, but they were at that point running Warlock and Cloak and just kind of staying that range. So it may be different now. Great tackle there out of the sky. The amount of times I've seen tackles. Oh, that would have been disgusting. Great idea on Adios, but great shield and great foresight there by Vesta. Not allow that to happen. Bedtime on the off angle. Gonna pop that all. Deal a ton of damage out. Just try to drop some close. Out go Crystals. Good cooldown utilized there. Forced it out, but this is gonna be final fight territory. It's all about who can clutch up now as Guru is now on the cap, popping that ultimate.
I mean, you know they're just playing slow for this Jeff NATO, right? They're not going to use anything. You just wasted.
Flyquest ready to make this happen. We have the entirety of the ults on the side of Fly, and we're going to initiate with the strat line. Great bubble there to protect. Oh my, up in the sky. Looking for the back line, forces it in the spawn door. Does not find value, but good idea. Cooper onto Gale, gets one, and now here comes the Jeff. Here comes the Hurricane as Jeff is spinning round and round, starting to sweep and eat everybody, and that could do it for them to take the point as down go two, and that is going to be difficult for them to hold on now.
I mean, this is so smart. I mean, you only need to win one fight. You have 2 minutes left. Everybody's running into delay. But it makes sense, right? Switch to Jeff, switch to Storm, and you just kind of win eventually because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide, right? Compared to Domination, it was a lot easier to hide from Team Envy when they did that combination. But now that we move to a map like Aegis Path, dude, this game is so funny. It's just crazy. It's just so funny that the fact that there's just Jeff NATO exists.
You know, if you have a solid Venom, I don't see why not, but I don't think it does too much burst. Great work there by Bedtime to find Best early, and this is where you get a ton of value with Moon Knight off the rip here into a squad just trying to hold point early, and they are just walking through them as we do have that res there from Best. Tackle coming in from Guru shortly. Great play on immediately on the Best again, and down goes the Vanguards.
Ooh, are they going to go for 3 fights, though? I mean, the cart did not push at all. So Flyquest teleports in. I mean, the spawn's pretty far, though, but they're getting a fight here now early quick.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very good strategy to take the force teleport and then be able to come back on a retake and force this thing on this first bend. And I think that's just experience there from Fly, understanding what they need to get done. But Gale and Guru, again, both Vanguards go down. Energy going to res back up from Adios as they do have that rocket. But Bedtime almost uncontested here with Moon Knight, just dealing a ton of damage onto the backline as Guru just kind of walks at him. Sparcheek goes down, and there goes the tackle into the sky onto the Strange. 1 HP. Can they clutch it? Yep, down goes Energy again. Teleport's gone. It is going to have to be a natural retake.
So there's a lot of value to be had with Moon Knight, even though he's maybe not seen as the meta.
Yeah, the team up definitely has some value. Obviously, just makes him go essentially invisible in that bubble and makes it annoying to deal with. And sometimes people actually use that as a distraction technique and place themselves outside of that. Oh, but great tackle there. Guru finds 4, but unfortunately not able to get anyone yet as he's back on that group. Just so much movement, tackling him back and forth, messing with the heads of the Vanguards, but unfortunately no pick as we do have, actually, I say that, we get one. Down goes Pizza Demon there from Zelos, and is still a back and forth fight. Ultimates very much on the side of Flyquest, who were able to hold on to that without using virtually anything.
Yeah, they can figure something out, but so does Flyquest.
Yeah, I like the Moon Knight into the Loki just to kind of help with all these clones and just get the free hits and damage out there. Guru, Gale, Gilbert, Gale again, utilizing those ultimates very effectively and sweeping before Flyquest can use 3. Super well done. Wow, what an assault coming in here incredibly
comes out, though. That's a huge cooldown to get rid of in terms of the regenerative crystals.
And here comes that Jeff NATO now. If we were going to say anyone can counter it, this team has done it, and they have one in the past, but Jeff NATO coming in, taking out Borderline quickly, trying to throw a few out. Gilbert and Guru, down go all of them, but it did utilize 2 ultimates there, right? So you got to think of the trade. It's a forced reset, but they used 2 out of it. 80% and just used that ultimate 2 fights ago. Bedtime at 61. Solaris just trying to gain some charge now, play slow, but Guru gets picked early. So, and the main thing you want to do with Ultron is force out cooldowns because you can get your ult back relatively quickly, if not faster than anyone in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of spamming around. The tough part, Guru's back over to Wolverine as well. You can see he's swapped from Wolverine to Brood. I mean, it seems like he's been indecisive at the current moment. Here comes the counter. Ultimate on the side is going to be met by Meteor Remedy. It is. Oh no, Borderline goes down.
Vess, you're going to shut that down, but Bedtime, here comes the Jet.
Oh my god.
Unfortunate there for them, but well played by Fly with good patience and escape. I mean,
they're switching everything up. They're going over to the Hawkeye. I like how they're at least trying to figure something out. But you have a minute left to go, and here comes another Jeff NATO.
Wow. Coming in hot right now onto the point, just trying to make sure nobody's on it as there is 50 seconds on. Gonna find somebody at the very end. A lot of time there with the NATO, forcing them back to their spawn as Gilbert falls. Guru gonna find 3 though, and Guru on a rampage, taking another out of the sky. Bedtime gonna clean up energy, and this is the kind of work you need to force your team's momentum in the forward direction.
And his ultimate as well. I mean, what does Solaris do? They have to play towards the cart. Gilbert trying to get a kidnap.
Yeah, not a bad idea, forcing them on now. We are going to have a full team fight. They're back in the corner. Just use that, actually, portal to block off that angle. Not bad at all. It's going to force them to have to peek around on that right side, not giving a lot of access to that hidden little side angle with the health pack. But now it's still going to be forced out with these ultimates as we see Zelos going to use that Eternal Bond. Now we have the Strangling Prison. He managed to land. It was,
oh, yeah.
spiked there, was stuffed by somebody as I had no eyes on. Energy going to take out Guru in the sky. Gale has this ult, and it's an OT now. Using it to heal and keep the team up on point. It is a lot of damage out there right now.
I mean, he's trying to keep Gilbert alive, but it is desperation hour. Moose missing most of the team. Here comes Energy as well, and the Storm ultimate. Can at times do this? No, he's ran down by a tornado. Unfortunately, cannot escape. The NATO chaser goes down, and now just onto Gale. Gale's going to fall. Gilbert desperately clinging onto his life. Not going to stay alive till the KO comes through, and everybody else goes down. Flyquest will get it done on an digital path to tie the series.
See that likely gone in the future, as Flyquest seemingly knew exactly what to do with that every single time, finding a ton of value with every ult.
Yeah, every time. Indeed, and I like the idea, behind switching constantly, trying to figure out like the correct comp to play. And Gale's always going to play well on Ultron.
Could just be playing the penny here for that early team up as we see Pizza making the switch too, or they could be a decision for the first point. I do like these more unique comps because I do think that one of the secret strategies for these teams is playing things that they don't. And
I think we talked to Blurry. He said Hulk is like sort of a niche pick almost, and maybe we're gonna see. Wow, nice freeze on the Guru as he's trying to fly up, and everybody's looking towards him. Energy's found 2, found 3 actually on the top side as well. So Hulk actually working out too, just kind of surrounded this team with the Human Torch, and right now Solaris sent back to spawn, and it's brutal because they lost Guru last, so that portal is not going to be there. They just have to give up this point.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, exactly.
It's damage removed. Do you still try to win this with ultimates to your ship?
Yeah, we are going to see Gale ready now to launch. Yep, as we talk about it, out goes Final Judgment. Ton of pressure out as they get 2. Cooper and Vesco down. Great shots there for Gale as they sweep 3. Make that soon to be 4. Really well played by the team, and good follow-up there.
Hiding. As Agamotto ready to go this fight.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get out of that situation. You mentioned just surviving the KO there. You actually have to turn and try to burn root walls, but even so, at that point, oh my goodness, bedtime! Make that 3 soon to be. What a shot there, forcing out the Luna 2. And now you can see Solaris is finding their footing, playing very confidently and looking really good with each one of these ults, not being overcommitted, just using a couple at a time and still on the correct person. It's just like anything. As long as your team is focused enough, you can actually burn through virtually every ult. But obviously, Luna is one of the more tough ones to do that through. But here we go with a nice tackle there. Gilbert Noodle goes down from Zelos with his copy. You see the Eye of Agamotto going out for Guru, who tries to get a few, and they do. Gale followed up with another ult. How does he have this ult again? 1 goes down, make that 2. Just collapsing now, trying to find more. And there, gonna use this Psionic, and that is going to be massive. It finds a few as Audio takes out Gale. Cooper on a Pizza. Cooper again on a Guru. And yeah, Luna can do a ton of damage at range. And we are gonna see bedtime trying to find a few just to slow things up. And no,
but they still have a large time bank, so maybe it wasn't as long as we could assume. Solaris though coming back with the portal now. They're going to be here towards the point. Running on out of here is Gale, but he's immediately met by Vess. Kicks him in the face.
Up in the sky we go for bedtime again. A lot of damage out there. You can see the burst, but it would have to be super committed for them to find some value out there. Gilbert holding on, waiting for actually going to go back into the spawn door. A great play there to get healed up. Oh, Zelo's going to find Pizza though, and they do get the point early. Very unfortunate if you're a fan of Solaris. They just were not able to retake. It's difficult to play thing into. Oh, there's a good tackle here. Gilbert trying to find some early picks, but the goal now is to use that damage reduction to your advantage. Gale going to walk them right back in. Found a ton of value with these ults so far, making Audio's dip. Great shots there by Gale, understanding the destructible environment, and that just comes with time. Well played, and knowing what they could do there. An off angle like crazy from the Hela. Going to try to chase that down, just waiting as Hela is still holding up there and not getting KO'd, but very close. Spark Chief going to pop that strangling and immediately countered back by Guru. Great stun to buy them time and to counteract that ultimate, but Spark Chief still finds 1. Guru going to walk in here and try to slow up the pace, just start tackling and just dance and just hope that they can hold on to this point as the team respawns here. Gale finding energy. Vest going to take out Guru though. Spark Chief onto Gale and it's back, and it looks like Flyquest is holding on strong here, but Gilbert does have that last stand with Wolverine.
He does, but there's no Vanguard, so he needs to create his own space here, but maybe with a little bit of help from his strategist. He tries to walk in, they know it's coming. Here comes that Hawkeye ult to kind of create a little bit of space, but man, solo tank thing now going over to the Doctor Strange. At least that's a different tank to kind of throw at Flyquest. Running this triple strategist or run it triple duelist is interesting. Energy meanwhile teleports back over the top on the flank.
Yeah, blocking LOS there. So you saw the teleport actually in an angle that makes it difficult for healers to look up into that top side of the stairs. So smart play as Vest is going to pop out with a Psionic. Gilbert finds a few. Bedtime cleans it up, and that's a massive play. As once again, Gilbert with these ults have been massive. 50 seconds on the clock, and they've got to, at this point,
Bunker up in this last phase. They know that you can play around this corner with those mines, and then you're against the Punisher, against the Wolverine, and they're already getting early pick too. With a nice stun from Bedtime Story, they froze 3 people there.
Yeah, what a play. Gale gonna find Best. I love the bunker cop. 11 seconds on. They have to take this. The portal's gone now because they tried to use it previously. Understanding the breakables again. Out goes Luna ultimate. Gonna try to drive the team to point. They got 3 seconds. They've got to get here now. And do they touch? They do. Wow. What a last second touch here. Adios gonna find Guru there. Try to walk. But those mines potentially getting a ton of value. Unfortunately, not able to, breaking them down. Good focus by the back line. Keep the team up. Bedtime gonna try to take space with this ult. Dealing a ton of damage. Will it be enough for them to retake? Bedtime unloading now. No pick just yet, but you can't imagine the damage going through. Gilbert gonna ult up, try to set up some mines to slow down the pace and bunker up. But now they've got Cap in the back line. Gale finds energy. Bedtime onto Zelos. Gale again onto Vest with the turret. Can they get more? Gale onto Spark Chief. And at this point, it looks like they're gonna hold on. Incredible hold with the bunker comp by Solaris to drive this thing and hold them before point 3.
Oh my God, how did they hold? Solaris, I think, versus Envy, they got a little crushed on this map, and now they just need to figure out a way to take first point. That's the biggest problem.
Gotta watch out for those nets, no matter if they have mines on or not. It's just a whole nother level. Oh, okay, and they are going to try to make a portal play. They're going to try to set up with Punisher here. I like this a lot. Going to give him a great LOS as the team's going to walk through. Oh, man, this could be a fun one to watch as we do see them set up in the back line. They are expecting something. This is a crazy position to hold as we do get this out early. Team's going to try to collapse fast as we're dealing a ton of damage with the turret. Everyone's collapsing in heavy onto the point, force them down. Great positioning here. Gilbert finds one onto Spark Chief, and this strategy might just work as Bedtime stakes Cooper. Is this going to be enough? Will they be able to find more? Remember, count to 20 and get inside before it ends, and they did as Vest drops Gilbert Noodle. We've got Gale take another pick on Adios, back and forth again. Gale onto Vest, and I think they did it. The teleport's going to come here through with Spark Chief, though.
It's a little bit further back as well, so they're gonna have to run back in together. The clap comes through, but oh my goodness, somehow they're still alive. They're actually coming back. Gale's gone.
Yeah, that's an early take there. Energy back on the Torch. A very strong Torch player and a ton of damage out. We saw in the first map, I think, it was like 25k damage. The next post was like Solaris will have a ton ready in his next fight. Will they get the job done?
I mean, they grabbed him on the inside. Supernova comes out as well, and Adios finds Guru. So no, Guru got choke slammed and dominated by Adios. Here comes the counter ult from Gale, but they're already down Guru. He got KO'd earlier. But with the ultimate, Invisible Boundary, Gale finds Cooper, now forcing out Eternal Bond. He finds 2 somehow even through. Energy goes down as well.
Yeah, that's another pick, man. They're just getting a ton done. Adios now going to try to rain into this. Great movement there. Oh, but the tackle to slow things up. But Guru, great escape. Pizza going to find Adios there. Tries to get eye. He gets a fair amount. Oh, Spark Chief for the double. Bedtime turns it around, though. Gilbert onto Zelos. It is just a trade fest. Vest finds Gale. And once again, numbers are virtually even. I think it's 3-3 on point now. But is there any strats? Energy so on the high side is terrifying as Gilbert goes down. Guru falls off. Adios. They're all going to reset now
with that Human Torch, like you said, Shib. He can play around these walls so easily.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It was definitely meant to be a tackle off map, and it was a reset either way. It doesn't matter. So it was a smart decision. I like the idea. Might as well take one with you. Eye of Agamotto goes out. Gilbert finds a few. No, unfortunately not. Out goes Invisible Boundary. Cap and Emma both played that very well with the block and the diamond form. Gale doing what Gale does. Out goes the ultimate. Will it get value? Spark is weak. Dive out. Great movement. Oh my goodness. Adios. Gonna collapse on Gale. Post that ultimate. Cap doing a great job by Spark Chief. Dancing around and keeping the team up. Energy does have it this all, but at this point, Energy's kind of holding on to it.
It's so good. How do they go from almost capping it out to now 20 seconds left, 2 ticks, and against Flyquest, who has multiple ultimates? Solaris has nothing. I mean, they're close to that dance floor. That'll hopefully help them. Here comes the Supernova. Really early. Did anybody jump out yet towards the point? Zelos also ulted. They can wait. It was Guru. Guru jumped out. Does Guru go down towards the point? It looks like no. They're going to touch last second.
Oh, Energy with insane placement here, playing around this portal, finds 2. Unfortunately, Pizza's not going to be able to get that dance floor out. That should and could be it. It could be the swan song here as Flyquest is clutching up in this moment, and it's getting to OT, and this is going to be over as Flyquest ends the series 2-1 and move forward in this tournament.
Central Park, it just did not work out for them. I mean, they just had a harder time when it came to any sort of payloads, any sort of hard point you need to take. They got so close to doing it multiple times. And you do nothing but tip your hat to Solaris, right? They took NB to 3 maps. They took Flyquest to 3 maps
and find a comp that works. As you see the updated bracket here, Ego Death, Shikigami, Jobless Bums, and Flyquest coming up here on the lower side bracket, and outside of that, on the upper side, already progressed through.
That proves why. Meanwhile, in Group B, Sentinels versus Nemesis will be that upper bracket matchup next week, and then in the lower bracket, Shroud-X versus Nightmare and Citadel Gaming. A lot of 2-0s until the very end. Solaris, Flyquest. I think the Shikigami LG game was exciting. If you're also interested in that game specifically, LG unfortunately is out of the tournament already. If you're an LG fan, I'm sure that is sad to see. And then DarkZero as well, same thing, brand new roster. We'll see if they can kind of turn it around in the upcoming change-ups. For Ailaniwind, I know they're like an unsigned roster, so they have a lot to look forward to. I think so many teams that have dropped out of the tournament are still exciting and still have a lot to play for in the future.
This is not my usual content. I make memes and game show type stuff, all centered around Marvel Rivals. You can check it out here. So last night I wanted to get caught up on the brand new Marvel Rivals Ignite tournament. It's going to be this huge multi-region tournament where people have to qualify in the region and then go compete at the international scene, right? But when you go to watch these things, there's only 4 to 5 hour long VODs, and ain't nobody got time for that shit. I'm a League refugee, so I'm used to like a million different clips channels and different highlights, ways to easily digest the pro scene. So I am pulling a Thanos right now, and I'm just doing it myself. Right now, I am planning on covering the entirety of the Ignite tournament, and if you ever see that I stopped posting here, it's either because I made a second channel or it's because I got copyright struck. Anyways, let me know what you would like to see from these highlight compilations down in the comments below, and until next time, peace.